When I came to Life Skills, I was in a very, very dark place. I had gone to my church, Rock Church in San Diego, and I saw a care counselor. And the care counselor felt sorry for me because I was very, very deeply, deeply depressed. I couldn't talk without crying. I was just deeply depressed. And she told me that she had had more benefit from Life Skills than she had had from 20 years of therapy.
A few things. I knew that I needed to make some better choices. I was in a very unhealthy relationship. Also, a conversation with my oldest daughter about some of my choices and how it was affecting my family.
Life Skills. I came to Life Skills kind of through a different process of just kind of, I think, feeling like I had tried everything in my life in terms of accomplishing different things and coping my life with many different things, I guess, and kind of came through it by meeting some different friends and people that had introduced me to the program, and really, I guess, just realized that everything I tried and everything I'd done, that I just was not getting relationships together the way I wanted to.
I started Life Skills in 2009, and I came to Life Skills because I was at the lowest point in my life. I really felt like there was no hope for me, and I had one last option, and that was to get help.
I would say that I started, at first when I heard the advertising at church, it did not sound like a program for me, because I didn't suffer from a lot of the trauma that I heard being advertised. But then as I talked to a friend who was going through it, and the material that she was showing and telling me about, it was exciting. It was like, wow, yeah, that sounds really good. So so I decided that maybe it was going to help me since my tactics were not working.
I came to Life Skills because I was in need of help in areas where I was desperate for change but didn't know how to change.
I was in a men's purity ministry at my church called FMO, for men only, and my facilitator had been through Life Skills, and whenever we went through the component in my sexual purity group about dealing with how our past drove a lot of our coping behavior of that we use in sexual purity ministry, he said it would be a good idea for me to go to Life Skills.
So I just kept doing what I always do, which was try to learn more and bear down and be controlling, like try to get people to cooperate with me. And that led me to be controlling and manipulative, and that wasn't working in my relationships.
We were approached by a friend of ours, and Ron Clough, to consider coming to Life Skills to evaluate it. I'm in the ministry. I'm a full-time pastor, and it sounded good. It looked really good the way they explained it, and so we thought, yeah, we'll do this. It might be good to
We don't
tell
personally
other
need it.
Well, yeah, we knew we'd get something, bits and pieces. It'd be good. But little did we know that once we got into it, it was just amazing. We needed it more than we realized.
I wasn't handling situations in life very well, and I wasn't sure how to handle them differently, but I knew that there must be a better way.
So before Life Skills, I was an addict for 16 years. I had 4 kids with 3 different fathers. I had continuous cycles of abuse in any relationship that I had ever went into.
And I fooled myself. I pretended he was a good husband and all of that kind of stuff. And with my children, I was extremely codependent with my daughter.
I was conditioned as a child to shut my mouth, don't make any waves. If somebody was angry, you leave the room, you hide, you run the other way. And when Jonathan and I were in an apartment and there was something that he didn't like, he got angry with me. And I went numb. And I thought, I'm the adult, he's the child, but yet I'm afraid. Something's going on here. He needs anger management is my thinking, is that he's out of control with his anger, he needs help. So I told him he needed to go to Life Skills and found out that the parent he's living with needed to be in life skills. And I was completely in denial that I had any anger issues whatsoever, because I wasn't the one who was explosive and having external anger issues. I didn't realize until probably a couple of months into life skills that I had anger issues. Mine were stuck, and that they were creating health issues.
It's like you're just kind of on your own. And we grew up in that period, children had to be seen and not heard, so there was no one to say, good girl, or why don't you think about this? I see this in you, and so nobody believing in you.
I thought most of what happened in our marriage was my fault. And so
and because of that, I would feed off of it and not let her express her points, or I'd bury it. We'd start discussing something, and I'd just say, let's talk about the next day or something like that, and we'd never get back to it.
Coming into a pamphlet in our church, I saw a lot of the areas that I was looking to get more help on. And so I was at a point in my life where I had given all opportunity and resource into counseling outside of the church, in the church, Bible studies, and I was still not up to par and still not functioning at a level that I could not want to hurt myself or somebody else.
In order to be able to have an honest and truthful relationship with somebody else, you need to know where you're at emotionally. Then you can deal with them on their level.
I'm calmer, I'm less intense, they're less keyed up around me or wondering, oh, how is mom going to feel about this, or how's mom going to react to that?
I think at this point in my life, who I am, that's something I'm learning to understand. I think knowing who I am, I'm an adventurer. I like learning. I enjoy other people. I care deeply for people. I care deeply for things I'm involved with. I am a lot of those things I think are who I am, or I know who I am.
Definitely different, because I have a greater sense of who I am and my value and what I want from a distance, instead of just the momentary feeling of loneliness. Or I now know.
And now, it's amazing to be in a relationship with a partner where we're equally yoked and we are on the same page and we both play on the same playground. We have the same language, the same tools. And so when things do come up, and they come up every day. We had an instance this morning in the grocery store. It happened, but neither one of us went into our old behaviors. We were able to talk about it and deal with it. And it's incredible. It's incredible to be able to be in a marriage with someone who's my equal. And when something happens, we're able to focus on us, our reactions, get to the root of it, and then come together as a couple and discuss what happened. So
I don't have to be anything other than who I am, and just show up, be the great guy that I am, and that's all that needs to happen.
I didn't realize I had a negative motor that would just run 100 miles an hour in my mind. And now, whenever something bad happens, I have tools to alter that thinking, that distorted thinking, that negative thinking of myself.
A lot of forgiveness and healing has happened in that arena. A lot of forgiveness and healing has happened in the arena of my children. Even with my friends, the way we interact is completely different. My professional life is flourishing beyond my highest expectations. And I just believe it's the way I come across now.
Always beforehand skipping the steps, but now knowing that the steps being put in order bring a result of just having solid balance and healthy, and just feeling much better about myself, and not that using my body as an expense to just get people around me and giving myself away. So now I know how to covet myself and treat myself like a private garden and not a public park.
But to come back together to connect. So.
Yeah, because I think what we would do in the past is we would try to say the right things, try to deal with our own stuff, but it was just like a little speed bump we'd go over and then keep on going the same way we used to react or think, about it. And this actually rewrites the way we come to it and think about it and then react to each other.
Find out about yourself. Find out what's wrong with you, what's good with you, what's going on that, I never really thought about my dad being so gone, all on his own thing until phase 1 and late in phase 1, and then a lot of phase 2. I just thought that's how it was. Then I realized, you learn about yourself. That'd be the main thing.